Hello, and welcome to Ready Steady Play. Today we're going to be attempting Galaxy Trucker. We're not just attempting Galaxy Trucker, we're attempting the entire Galaxy Trucker universe.
Yes, the evil universe that's out to get you pretty much every point.
So for those of you that are actually unfamiliar with Galaxy Trucker, what it is it's a game set in the distant future where humanity's colonized space and all different planets and brought capitalism to the universe. And what this means is that we've got to be shipping out parts to all different kinds of areas of space. We've got to be getting our civilization out there. We're spreading out. Of course, we need sewage systems.
Of course, where does the poop go? The big question in every society.
Exactly, and how do we get it away from us?
Yes.
So,
it smells.
Sewage systems. That's how we get it away. And in space, it is actually cheaper to build spaceships out of the sewage parts and ship them across space than it is to
build a ship and just ship it normally, like we do now.
Like you would imagine, if you imagine currently how we sort of put things in containers on boats, and ship them in containers.
Massive lorries.
Yeah, now we build the boats out of the stuff that's in the containers.
I'm sure
that's cheaper.
Somewhere it must have seemed like a good idea. It must be now that they're just doing it because they've always done it that way, but... I think that says they're made out of sewage parts. That says a lot about how this game will go and how well the ships will be put together. And
inevitably, the challenge of Galaxy Trucker is building a ship out of these parts, sub quality parts.
Yes.
But we've got every single Galaxy Trucker expansion. As far as I'm aware, we've got everything released for Galaxy Trucker. There could be some promos we're missing somewhere, or something like that. I actually only have sort of one set of promos, so that's entirely possible. But we've definitely got everything that's been officially released in boxes, which includes Galaxy Trucker, the base game. We've got another. We've got the big expansion. We've got another big expansion. We've got Galaxy Trucker missions, and we've got Galaxy Trucker, the latest models, which is more ships. So before I get too stuck into those, I'm just going to explain how the game works. What you have to do is you've got to build spaceships out of these parts. So the game is in two phases. The first phase, we build ships on boards that look a bit like this. This is actually the most complex level 1 and 2 ship, probably. That's half of another ship. But they've got grids on them, and we'll be building ships on those grids. And we will do this with a limited amount of time. And we'll be racing to do it sort of as fast as we can.
Basically, it's not just enough that we're building them out of subpar parts, we're also racing each other to see who can build it the quickest.
Yeah. And we'll be fighting for all of these parts. Some are good, some are bad. Some are just, because they don't all connect to each other. So some connect to different, Sometimes you just really need a part and the other guy took it.
Quite often, in fact, you're looking and going, I've been through this entire pile of pieces. Where's the one? Oh, it's there. He's holding on to it. He knows I need it. He's not going to put that back.
So we'll be racing each other to find the good parts or the parts we need, and whoever builds it and finishes it faster, then the other person has a limited amount of time to finish as well. And then once they're done, and then we have to fly them to the outer rim, which means going through these adventure card decks.
Yep. And if there's anything wrong with your ship, it does tend to fall apart on takeoff.
Right. After we build the ship, there'll be a spot check to make sure that everything is legal. Now, if there is an illegality in the ship and it's not picked up during the spot check, then it's actually allowed to go through. However, if your opponent does spot an illegality and points it out, you've got to rectify it, which means removing that piece of the ship.
Which, if your ship is poorly built enough, as happened to be the first time I played, it will basically just mean it falls in half.
Yeah.
I left half my ship on the landing bay that first time. That wasn't fun.
And if there's something important in the half you left behind, like all of your crew compartments, or all of your guns, or your shields, or the most important thing really, your engines, then you'll be in serious trouble. So, sorry for that quick interlude there, but we're back now, and we're just going to talk through some of the components we've got, because we've got an awful lot. So, I guess the best thing to talk about first is the ships, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So the basic game just comes with 4 different classes of ship, and actually only 3 levels of rounds.
We're gluttons for punishment.
What's the best way to explain this? So in the basic game, what you'll do is you'll go on 3 or 4 flights, which are like rounds. And so what we do is we build a ship, We take it through space, that's 1 round. We'll do it 3 times in the basic game, or perhaps 4, if you want to go for like a longer version of the game.
Yeah.
The idea is to make the most money over the course of the game. You'll gain money for picking up salvage while you're going through space and cargo and things like that, and bringing it with you.
All these lovely little pieces.
Exactly. You can also find sort of abandoned space stations and stuff like that. Look at these little astronaut men. Oh, they're so great. I love those. They're like my favorite thing. But the problem is you'll also lose money for parts of your ship that are lost. So you could accrue quite a lot of debt.
Yep, quite a bit.
And the game as well actually comes with debt tokens in one of the expansions. So in the basic game you can't go below 0. In the later expansions you can just accrue debt until, and by the end of the game it's sort of whoever has the least debt we've found, because we're just not good at
We're not good at trucking.
We're experienced truckers and we're just bad at it. I often think of we're like the clones from Moon. We just keep dying and then another one gets pumped out.
That is incredibly depressing for this version of the future. It's like, you're so bad at what you do. We're going to take the effort
Oh shit,
to clone
spoiler alert from Moon, by the way. Sorry if you haven't seen that yet.
Oops.
It's been years.
Put it in the credits.
What were you doing with yourself?
You're bad enough at your job that you'll die doing it, but we'll clone you so you can try again and again and again.
So you've got the level, sort of the unremarkable ships from the base game, and in the later expansions, what they sort of instruct you to do is stop thinking about the flights in terms of levels. Like for example, flight 1 would always be level 1 using a level 1 ship, and start to think about the flights as sort of individual combinations of these things. For example, if you wanted to, if you were a glutton for punishment or whatever, you could take any level 4 spaceship with the level 4 adventure cards and use that as your first flight and just do that 4 times. Or you could do level 2 twice and then level 3 and 4, or level 2 twice and level 4 twice. The only thing that really matters is that the level of the adventure you go on is matched to the appropriate level of ship that you're taking. So if you're building the level 1 ships, you go on a level 1 adventure. But you could do that once for flight 1 or 4 times for flight 1, 2, 3, or 4. Or you could just do it the last flight. Flight 4 could be level 1 if your brain is totally melted by then and you don't really want to build another big ship.
Yeah.
It's entirely sort of up to you how you combine these things. Whereas in the basic game, flight 1 would always be level 1, flight 2 would be level 2, etc. So what we've got is now we've got sort of 4 different level. You've got the 4 different levels of ships. So in the basic game, you've got a level 1 ship, a level 2 ship, a level 3 ship, a level 4 ship. Then in one of the expansions, or in the first expansion, you get sort of the second set of those. So you get 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A, right? So the ships still get bigger. I mean, that's basically what it is, right? As you rank up in difficulty, the ships just get bigger and bigger and more difficult to build, especially within the time limit. I mean, you get more and more time each time, but it's just these things get exponentially harder.
Especially when you're stealing each other's parts.
And you've got more to deal with. Like, you're unlikely to see cloaked predator aliens in round 1, and you may not even see space pirates and asteroids. And there's sort of a mechanic where we can peek at some of the adventure cards as we're building, so we can have sort of a bit of an indication what's coming up and tailor our ships a bit better. Whereas in level 4, there's a very good chance you're going to see cloaked predator aliens and asteroid fields
And cyborg commandos.
and whatever else is out there. I mean, just all the bullshit. So you've got to be ready. You've got to be all set for that.
Open space basically becomes your best friend, because there's nothing bad that can happen except for if you don't have an engine.
Right. If you've lost all your engines in, say, an asteroid shower, and then you come across open space, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. You just
drift forever.
It's true. And you are lost in space. So what we've got, we decided that we can, we're gonna, and then with the next big expansion, you get the next set of ships. So you get 1B, 2B, 3B, and 4B, and then actually with the latest models expansion, you get 1C, 2C, 3C, and 4C. And as the letters move down the alphabet, the ships become increasingly difficult to build.
Yeah.
And also shitter. So you work harder to build something that's just worse.
Because there's nothing that promotes reward just as much as Now your ship has all these extra rules in place, and by the way, good luck.
So a big sort of element of Galaxy Trucker, really. God, look, this says 60 to 90 minutes playtime. That's garbage. That's a complete lie.
That's if you survive that long.
That's if you use the base set